Hey everyone, I have a exciting project update today. So I finally got a railing for the upstairs here for over the stairway. So I picked this up on Facebook Marketplace for $100, and I've been looking for one of these for pretty much since I bought this house. It's been year and a couple months now that I've been looking. And as you can see, this is a pretty much a perfect fit. It's exactly what I need. Well, 99% exactly what I need. So this originally was designed for the stairway on the opposite side, so they had this little foot for an additional support on the opposite side of the stairs, and it really should be on the opposite side. But I can make this work. What my thought is I might zip off that very end tab there, and there needs to be a railing on this wall over here anyway, so this won't really protrude out any further than it really is. Not going to get in the way or be a trip hazard, I don't think. So, but worst case scenario, I could grind it off on the pole side here. But that would take a little more effort, and I don't think I'd get it to look as nice as what it does. But this thing is pretty much in mint condition, which is great because my alternate option over here, which I can't remember if I picked this up. I think it was Facebook Marketplace. It might have been Craigslist. But again, this is the right size. It's pretty much exactly what I need, but this had been an outdoor railing, and it's a little rough. It's got some evidence of rust. It's been painted over at least once. It looks like it. I think it was originally white, and it was painted over black, and the paint is flaking. This one's only 30 inches tall, where the other one's 32 inches tall. Which I think 32 is supposed to be the minimum requirement. This also has a little wider of a spacing, which I don't know if that's allowed by code technically, but I was planning on using this. But I was not looking forward to having to strip it down and repaint it. So I think I only paid $65 for this. I also picked up a second one. It's identical, well, almost identical. This one's a little longer, but it's in similar condition, and I figured that was going to be my backup plan. So, and it doesn't have the end pull on it. This one is just a straight section. But I figured that was going to be my backup plan if for some reason this one didn't work. But again, I am beyond thrilled that I got one that I can practically just bolt on and call it a day. Because I was thinking by the amount of effort it was going to take to refinish that one was going to be a day or two of work. And I figured if I sent it out for sandblasting and painting, that was going to cost me at least $150. So spending $100 for something that is in pretty much mint condition that I have to do pretty much no work to was a bargain to me. So I also looked into purchasing one of these new, and the one company I found that did iron railings only did outdoor ones. They would not even come out to give a quote for an indoor one. And that was the only company I could easily find. I found some other companies that had a loose estimate of railings starting at $125 per foot for a custom railing. And this is 8 feet long, so it would have cost me over $1,000 to buy one of these brand new. And I didn't really... I tried looking into other do-it-yourself solutions, and I could have put in something like that's readily available from Home Depot is like a vinyl outdoor railing, but that would have looked kind of hokey inside the house, I felt. And also it would have been plastic, bulkier. It would have obscured the view even more, and I didn't like that idea. And the do-it-yourself metal railings that are available at Home Depot are really, really cheap. This thing is super sturdy. It weighs probably like 60 to 75 pounds, somewhere in there. It's not light. It's pretty heavy duty. So again, I am thrilled to have this, but a project that I have been planning out for quite some time is how to mount this. And both this railing and the prior railing and pretty much any railing solution I would have wanted to use is going to all require the same thing. It needs something to bolt this to in the floor. And I think I showed you what a long time ago it was originally here. Someone had built a box that was about this tall, made out of wood. It was hollow, it was flimsy, it was shaking around. It would have done nothing to prevent someone from tripping over the edge and falling down the stair, or falling down into the hallway here. It was pretty useless. Pretty much the only thing it would stop is furniture from falling off the edge. So I pulled that out and found that it is actually, there's a joist here, but it's hollow under the rest of it. So my plan was always to come in and bolt a piece of wood underneath here to support it. So that is what we are going to be working on today. So give me a moment. I'm going to go, this railing's just literally just sitting here. I'm going to put it back against the wall so it doesn't tip over, and I will show you today's project. All right, so we are in the basement in the room just below where that stairway is, and this is the space. And in order to give a better view and better access, I'm going to remove this HVAC pipe. And in theory, it should just pop out. I already removed the screws. We'll set that aside. All right. So next up, what I'm going to do is my plan is to put a 4x4 up there and lag it in through that joist. As you probably saw, I had some screws sticking out. I pre-drilled a bunch of holes. I'm also going to put some what do you call it, construction adhesive along that seam to basically bind the 4x4 to that joist and kind of make it one big giant solid support structure for that railing. So what I'm going to do for starters is I need a way to kind of keep that 4x4 up there before I lag it in, just temporarily. So what I'm doing is I'm just using a piece of scrap lumber and putting some screws in. So basically I can bring the 4x4 up here, and it will kind of just hold it up in place while I go up in the other room and lag it in place. noticing it's a little dusty up there. Let me go quickly grab a broom and brush it off so I don't have a bunch of dirt stuck in between. Great. Let's check for obstruction, possible obstruction here. I think it'll clear. Oh yeah, no problems there. All right. So what I'm going to use is this 4x4 here. And what I wanted to do is the railing is 8 foot long, and I wanted to go from the wall end out and past 8 foot long in order to not be bolting onto the edge of the beam. So what I did is I went to the store and tried to find a 4x4x10 non-pressure treated, and I couldn't get one non-pressure treated. I went to both Home Depot and Lowe's. They don't seem to have them, but they do have pressure treated. So I bought two 4x4x10s pressure treated and let them dry out for a little while, because since I wanted to use construction adhesive, I couldn't really bind wet wood. And as they dried, this one, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it bowed really significantly. And the other one I bought as a backup, it's the one on the left, twisted all to heck. So as you can see, it's pretty much flat. It's actually twisted a little to the right on this end. And on that end, it is twisted quite significantly to the left. So I knew I wouldn't be able to use that one. So my third plan was I got a 4x4x8 non-pressure treated, which Home Depot did carry. And I was just going to skew it to the right-hand side and have just a gap over on the left-hand side. But what my plan is I'm going to first put this up there, and I'm going to, I also, for a while, I had taken this 4x4 and applied pressure to it. I had it sitting with the crown up. I put something underneath that end, and I was pushing down on it with I had a 2x4 pressing up against the ceiling and bowing this. So I know this can be flattened with a lot of force. So what my plan is, usually you put the crown up, but I don't know that I can straighten that out along the plywood. So I am actually going to put the crown facing out like this and have this against the joist, and I'm hoping that all of those lag screws that I have along the side will be able to suck it in. So we're going to put that up there. We're going to see how far off that bow is to see if I think I can pull it in with the lag screws. And if it looks like it's going to work, we're going to put some construction adhesive in there and lag it in from upstairs. And if that doesn't look like it's going to work, we'll go with the other plan to use the non-pressure treated 4x4 and just skew it to the one end. So you also have to kind of angle it in to get it up into the ceiling and past this water line. I think we can do it. There we go. I need to just figure out which end is my, yeah, that is the way I want to put it. What it appears is that my screws for holding it up are a little tighter than I anticipated. Bend these down a bit. Yep, and I can definitely see we are fighting the crown. I'd say that the crown is at about maybe half an inch in the center. I think we can suck that in with lag screws, so. Alright, I'm willing to give it a shot. construction adhesive up. What I'm using is this Liquid Nails subfloor and deck interior exterior construction adhesive. This actually came with the house. I think I found it under the sink, kitchen sink. And I didn't know if it was going to be any good or not, but it was still sealed. So I opened it up. And it seems like it's still good. Using construction adhesive is probably overkill, but I also figure it can't really hurt. Showing you a close-up of what I did up there. No real rhyme or reason for that pattern, just it seemed like it would work well. Alright, so next we're going to go upstairs and we're going to screw that in. Alright, so as you can see, I already pre-drilled some holes and I'm using these GRK structural screws, 5/16 by 3.5. And let's see how this works. I'm going to use my impact driver. Close to pulling in that bolt. It's nice that I got a little gap here where I can kind of inspect how things are going. Let me go check it in the basement real quick, and if I like what I see, I'll screw the rest in. Yeah, that's looking really good in the basement. It is nice up and tight against the plywood, all the way over here and to about here-ish. Down here, it starts to dip down a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, it's tight against the joist, but not against the plywood. So I'm going to put some screws into the top first to try to pull it up to the up to the plywood, and then I'll drive these in. But these over here I can drive in. These guys. Go check that in the basement again real quick. I'll be back. Yeah, that looks perfect. So I'm actually, I got these out. right. So I got it all lagged in on the joist. I have the plywood screwed down. This is what we look like down in the basement. It's nice and tight up against the plywood, and it is also nice and tight against the joist. And we were able to pull in that crown. So this is perfect. I guess what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to remove my temporary screws here. I'll smooth out that excess construction adhesive just for aesthetics, even though no one will ever see it. And this job is done other than mounting the railing upstairs. So thanks for watching, everyone.